Hello. Hello everyone. I hope you are well. Let me know how you're doing in the comments. Give me a hashtag replay. If you are tuning in to the replay, let me know that you are here. I would love to say hello to you at a later date when you're watching on this replay. So do let me know if you are here, and if you are hopping on live, do let me know that you are hopping on. I would love to say hello to you. Give me a hello in the comments if you are hopping on right now. I would love to know that you are here. Thank you everyone who is tuning in. Thank you for joining me. Hello Howling Wolf. Hello follow for a follow. I hope everyone is well today. Let's just check that we can see all the chat in all the platforms that we are on. We are currently, of course, live on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitter, and of course inside the Uncover Wealth community, my private community on Facebook as well. Good morning, TikTok lover. Good morning, Kelly. Good morning, Lost Baby Girl. Hello, Cozy Sundays. Hello, Esmotion. Hello, Scott. Lovely to see you here today. Hello Zara. Hello Dale. Thank you everyone who is tuning in and joining me. I very much appreciate it. This is AMs with Annette, of course, Mondays to Thursdays at 11 a.m. And this being Thursday, our theme today is strategic chats. What that means is that is my open Q&A session. This is a place to ask anything about business, either your business or indeed about mine. I am happy to answer the questions that you may have. Today, this session is entirely led by the questions that you ask. I do not have anything pre-prepared for Thursday sessions, so this is entirely led by the questions that you ask. For those of you that are new to me, my name is Annette Ferguson. I am CEO of Annette & Co, UK-based accounting firm. I'm a chartered accountant, certified profit first professional and financial strategist, and I help business owners take home more money from their business for them and their families to enjoy. I've been in business for the last 11 years now, running my accounting firm. I am a social media geek and I love marketing and sales as well. And I've been running my business from virtually basically all this time. So nothing new for us on our side when everyone had to start working from home. That is what we do anyway. So any questions around any of those things, I'm happy to answer. Good morning, Tim. Lovely to see you as always. Thank you for joining me. Chris, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I massively appreciate all the loves, the shares, the hearts, the likes, the thumbs ups, the follows, the subscribes, whichever platform you are on and whichever version exists for you. I massively appreciate it. So thank you so much for that. Libra, thank you for following. I do appreciate it. Dale, thank you for the follow as well. So good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, I can see somebody in the Uncover Wealth community saying good morning, but I need to pull up a different screen to see your name. I'm going to do that as well so that I can see everyone here. So this is Strategic Chats. This is where I answer any questions that you may have about your business or indeed about mine. Good morning, Kaylee. Kaylee, hello. I hope you are well today. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for joining me. This session is entirely led. Oh, and I can see it's Eloisa in the Uncover Wealth community. This session is entirely led by the questions that you ask. Therefore, if there are no questions, I have not much to say. So do make sure that you get any of your business questions into the comments and I will happily answer those questions. Do let me know if you have anything that you want me to answer. Good morning, Scott. Good morning, Emma. Excuse me. Good morning, whichever platform you are on. This is AMs with Annette, which happens Mondays to Thursdays at 11 a.m. We have different topics and themes each day, and on Thursdays it is strategic chats, which means that I answer any business related questions that you may have. Tim is saying a bit of a random question. What's the difference between a CEO and a managing director? Not much, in all honesty. They're typically terminology. Different countries sometimes use different terminologies. Managing director is interchangeable really with CEO in most instances for most businesses. So yeah, typically they're the same thing, Tim. When it comes to, you know, the rules and company law and all those kinds of things, they're the same title. Let's have a look. Kelly says, I'm on furlough, but my job as a childminder is not picking back up, thinking of going into unemployment. Kelly, yeah, it's a very, very tricky time for many, many people at the moment. It is very difficult just now with many, many businesses. We've heard of a lot of businesses making redundancies and cutting their staff. So it's incredibly difficult, Kelly, at the moment. It is. CEO is often used in the US. Managing director can typically be used more often in the UK. There are more people in the UK nowadays saying CEO, but you're right. It's less common to hear that term in the UK. Absolutely. Good morning, CTA. Nice to have you here. This is my Q&A session. This session is driven entirely by the questions that you ask in the comments. So if you have any questions, do let me know. This is a business Q&A. That is what I am answering questions about, is either your business, general business, or my business. I'm happy to answer those. So do let me know your questions in the comments. I'm going to take a drink of my tea as well at the same time. But do let me know. Do type in any questions that you may have. And I am very, very happy to answer those questions. As I said, I've been running my business now for 11 years. So I am happy to answer any questions about any stage of business, really. So please do make sure you ask those. Jonathan, lovely to see you from Periscope. Thank you for the hello in the comments as well. CTA saying, can I explain the concept of a funnel? Yeah, absolutely. So the entire concept of a funnel is to basically get people from the position of essentially not knowing about you to become a buyer. So that is what a funnel basically does. It's it's funnel shaped. So typically you expect lots of people at the top and then less people as you go all the way down. Now, different businesses' funnels will be set up in different ways depending on what you offer and those kinds of things. But typically you have free content at the very, very top of the funnel. And then you maybe have some opt-in content. So things where people have to give you their email address. Then you might have a call or a consultation, or you might take people directly to a sales page or a sales conversation in a DM, for example, and then you'll get them to purchase at the bottom. That is the concept of a funnel. Now, some people do that all completely automated and everything is automated and they just buy off a link and they never speak to anyone. Or some people just manage people through the funnels through direct messages and those kinds of things. But that is basically what a funnel is. A funnel is moving a person, moving an individual from the point in time where they first find out about you through that know, like, and trust to become a buyer. That is essentially the purpose of a funnel and how a funnel works. I hope that makes sense, CTA. Let me know if there's any other questions you have around that. Tim is saying, do I think Google AdWords is cost effective? Completely depends on the industry, Tim, and it depends on who's running the AdWords. I first tried Google AdWords back probably 10 years ago, and I wasted a ton of money on them, but I didn't know what I was doing. I was just chucking stuff at Google AdWords and hoping it worked. Google AdWords, at least back then, I assume it still does now. I haven't been into Google AdWords for a long time, but it has these things called negative keywords, and if you don't set them up properly, you'll end up being shown on ads that have completely no relevance to your business, but people are clicking on them anyway, and you're ending up paying for them. So I was trying to target the term accountant, and what ended up happening was loads of people were typing in things like, how do I log into my O2 account? And my ad was being served because I'd set it up really wonky. And so I was paying for all this traffic that had zero relevance to my business, and it completely messed it up. So if you're going to do it, learn how to do it properly and set it up right, and it can deliver returns. We have clients that do great stuff with Google AdWords and get lots of return for it, but you do need to make sure that you set it up properly and you understand it, or you get an ad agency that is able to run that for you. But Google AdWords definitely can work for a number of businesses. Let's see what else we have. This is Ollie, lovely to have you on. Thank you for joining me today. CTA is saying, what do you do with all the gathered emails? Shift them up in funnel by delicate email notifications about sales and stuff. So when you're collecting emails, then typically what you would do is you would set up an email marketing campaign. So you would be sending them content and that kind of stuff via regular email marketing, and then every so often you would drip in a promo or something like that into your email sequence so that you encourage them to sell. But typically you would be wanting to keep warming up those individuals. You'd be wanting to nurture that relationship in the email once you've gathered those email addresses. That's the purpose of it. And then from time to time, offering a promo or a sell or something like that, or to get on a call with you or whatever the sales mechanism is in your business, whether that's directly to a link, whether that's through a call, whatever that might be. That's how you would do it. Blooming Marigold, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for your kind words. No, Liverpool, I'm not a doctor. I am a chartered accountant. I am a certified profit first professional, and I'm a financial strategist, and I help business owners take home more money from their business for them and their families to enjoy. So no, definitely not a doctor at all. Does that make sense, CTA? Let me know if you have any follow-up questions on that, or if there's anything else that you want to ask on that, and I'm happy to answer it. This is Strategic Chats. This is my open Q&A session where I answer any question that you may have about your business, about mine, or indeed about business in general. Liverpool saying I look like a doctor. I'm not sure what a doctor looks like, but I suspect that's possibly a compliment. I'm not sure. Tim. Lovely. I love that. Good joke. Nice. Lovely. Eloisa, thank you for joining me. It's lovely to see you as always. So thank you everyone who's tuning in. Do let me know if you have any other, I'm just doing something weird on TikTok. Do let me know if you have any other questions, if there's anything that you want to know indeed about your business, about my business, or about business in general. I'm more than happy to answer those questions. So do let me know in the comments and I will answer those for you as well. Let's see, I'm just going to check the comments on all the platforms that we are on just to see if we have anything else that has come through that I have missed. I don't think so. So I'm going to take another drink of my tea. Make sure you do type any questions that you have, because this session is entirely led by your questions. If there are no more questions, then the session can close. But if there are questions, I will stay on for those. So do let me know. Tea's good. Who likes tea? Tea's good. So do let me know any business related questions that you may have. Lucas saying anything new on furlough? No, look, everything is pretty much in place on furlough now. No changes at all have happened now for probably a month in terms of the announcements. No more than that actually in terms of the announcements on furlough. No changes to who's eligible or anything like that, Luke, unfortunately, for the furlough situation. It is all the same on that front, unfortunately for many people, but that is the way it is just now. There have been calls, particularly in a number of industries, to extend it. For example, industries that are still not able to operate at all. For example, the wedding industry, for example, really very much unable to operate if you are, supplying things for events, wedding events and those kinds of things. But no, nothing new on that, unfortunately, at all, despite the lobbying and things that are happening from a number of areas. Mark is saying instead of paying more corporate into a pension, so your company can contribute into a pension fund. Yeah, absolutely. You can do a direct contribution from a company into your pension. That will lower your profits for corporation tax purposes. So yeah, absolutely. It's a nice, efficient way of getting money out of your business and into a pension, reducing your corporation tax, and it doesn't get routed through your personal tax return at that point in time. So that is that's absolutely a good way to get some money into your pension. Thank you for the question, Mark. Scott is saying, my biggest question is that as a sole trader freelancer for around 18 months, I don't know what questions I should be asking. Oh, that's a really good one, Scott. And it's always difficult because, ultimately we don't know what we don't know. And that therefore can sometimes make it challenging to do that, to ask the right question. I typically find that I get more questions and I get the right questions coming up from the other content that I consume. So I listen to a lot of podcasts, audiobooks, read a lot of business books and those kinds of things. And I usually find that they help stimulate the questions that I want to ask at the same time and stimulate my thinking in different areas. So that might be a suggestion for you. Yes, Mark, I absolutely can. We can have a chat about how to do that for you and get that pension stuff. So I'll write that down. Fab. Get that sorted. Lovely. Okay, interesting. Lovely. Have we got any other questions? Anything else that is coming through? I'm happy to answer that. Yeah, we will speak later, Scott. Absolutely. Any other questions that you may have about business, I'm happy to answer those. Please do let me know in the comments and I will answer those questions for you. No problems whatsoever. So do let me know if you do have anything that has come up that you want answered. I'm happy to do that. I'm going to drink another drink of my tea whilst anybody might be typing that wants to ask anything. CTA saying I'm a coffee person. I love the smell of coffee, but I've just never taken to the taste of it at all. Tim is saying coffee makes me remain tired, just faster. I don't know if fast tired is a good thing or not. I can't quite work that out, Tim. It might be. I mean, in some instances, it might be good that you're just faster, but I'm not sure. Thank you everyone who's tuned in. Thank you everyone who's joining me. I massively appreciate all the loves, the hearts, the shares, the likes, the thumbs ups, the friend requests, the subscribes, whichever platform you are on, whatever that version is for you. I thank you so much for that. It means a huge, huge amount to me. So thank you very, very much. Tim is saying, do I think office buildings will become a thing of the past? Less business having brick and mortar property? Yeah, Tim, I do. I really do. I think that many people over this time will have realized that actually they don't need physical office space. It's interesting because I wrote a blog post about not needing a physical office space probably about 2 years ago now, maybe longer. Encouraging people that they didn't need to spend the money on physical office space in most instances. And not many people took me up on that. I would encourage clients that they maybe didn't need office space after all, but many people believed that they very much did. But now the conversation has very much changed. And a lot of people are saying, actually, I realized we don't need that office space. We got on completely fine and completely well without it. Therefore, why would we have that as an additional cost in our business? Not only the rent, but the rates, the heat and light, all the desks, all that kind of stuff. Why do we need that when we've worked great without it? So yeah, I think that's definitely going to become, I think really big businesses are downsizing to smaller office spaces, and I think smaller businesses are actually just doing away with them altogether and doing much more home working. I think that will, however, have an impact on the housing market because many people will start to need a dedicated room in their house for work. And that's going to change up where people are going to live and how they're going to live as well at the same time. So there's going to be knock-on effects there for the housing market, I believe. But I think that those big, huge office buildings are going to become a thing of the past, and I think they're going to downsize into smaller ones. So yeah, I do. And I do also think that there's going to be less brick and mortar, independence on the high street. So many high streets, of course, have lost a lot of independence. We're really lucky here that we have a number of independent shops still. And a couple of years ago, the high street was voted, I think it was the best independent high street in either Scotland or the UK. But I still think that actually we're going to see a demise of the high street further, particularly with independent businesses. I think that a lot are going to say, I can't handle having rent as a potential pull down when I'm running my business, if things like this may happen in the future. So I do think we are going to see that. Lisa is saying, I'm thinking of starting online cooking lessons. Should I set up a business structure for that? Any advice on the set steps to start, please? Lisa, it depends a little bit on what you've been doing before. So if you are currently employed or if you've been an employee in the last 3 years, it may make sense for you to be a sole trader to begin with if you're going to have high expenses. So if your expenses are going to be higher at the beginning and you're likely to be loss-making in your first year, then it may make sense to be a sole trader so that you can taxes paid on employee taxes on employment. You can backdate your losses in self-employment against employed income and reclaim tax. However, if you are thinking that you will be profitable from close to the beginning, then that's not necessarily a consideration. What is a consideration is the level of profit you're going to have. So typically, if you're going to have profit of around about 30K or more, we would recommend you go down a limited company route from a tax perspective. There are, of course, other things to consider as well in terms of limited liability, and that may mean that you want to be a limited company from the beginning as well, regardless of the fact that it may not be the most tax efficient at the very, very start. So those are a couple of things that you probably want to consider, Lisa, when you're thinking about what you want to do in terms of how to set up. I hope that helps for you. Let's see what else we've got. Yeah, absolutely. Coffee shop industry is very much a booming industry at the moment, without a doubt. Let's see what other questions we have. Do you think it is more worthwhile paying myself a proper wage rather than a minimum PAYE? And hoping to get dividends out of profits. This is a really tricky one at the moment, Mark, because we expect that the benefits of taking dividends out your own limited company, we expect the tax benefits of that to drop off, to be honest. Rishi Sunak has already sort of insinuated that there will be changes to the tax law and that things might change there. So it's really tricky at the moment. There's one argument that says, make hay while the sun shines in terms of your tax position because it's likely to change. There is the other argument that says that taking out a kind of proper wage looks better if you're going for a mortgage, for example, and it means that you're running some people would deem it a more financially healthy, viable business if you're taking out a proper wage, but you are paying more in tax. So it's really difficult. Also, bearing in mind that dividend is an appropriation of profit. So if your profits are dropping or if you're, break even, then you can't take out a dividend, but you could take out a salary. However, in practical terms, if that is the situation, then it's unlikely you'll have the cash in the business to pay a higher salary anyway. So in practical terms, it doesn't make that much of a difference because if you're unable to pay a dividend, you're unlikely to have the cash to pay a salary, even though you technically could claim one, if that makes sense. So, Mark, happy to hop on a call and speak through this further with you as well, if you wish. That's completely fine. We can do that as well. But I hope that makes sense. It's a really difficult one, particularly at the moment, to decide whether you do increase your salary and take the tax hit very much. But things will change. Things will change as well. Thank you everyone for your questions. I really appreciate it. What's my thought on working Saturdays or overtime? Completely depends on the position that you're in starting your business. When you run a business, you go in cycles. There's various seasons to running a business, and if you want to put more time in, then that's okay too. It's completely up to you and how your business works and how that slots into your life. So completely up to you on that, and it's a completely personal choice and personal opinion. You're welcome, Lisa. Yeah, you're welcome, Mark. That's no problem at all. So thank you everyone who's tuned in today. I do appreciate it. This is, of course, AMs with Annette, which happens Mondays to Thursdays at 11 a.m. You have been watching Strategic Chats, which is my open Q&A session on Thursdays. If you joined halfway through and you want to catch up the replay, you can head over to my YouTube channel to do that. It's AnnetteFergs.tv. Whilst you are there, make sure you do hit the subscribe button so that you know next time a video goes up. We have exclusive content over on our YouTube channel as well, so you can go over there anyway and make sure you subscribe and check out what we have there for you. So thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope you have an incredible day. I have very much enjoyed answering your questions today.